I invite you to journey with me on a short visit to India. I want to show you a wonderful opportunity that Christ has given us to be training pastors and to strengthen His church. Christians are a small minority here, and there is much spiritual opposition. Any of the churches in rural areas have pastors who have had no opportunity for Bible and ministry training. Ray of Hope Ministry has been providing an internationally recognized training program called Bible Training for Church Pastors. We will visit training locations in the village of Allur and the city of Bidar. But fasten your seatbelt, because driving in India can be exciting. Our first stop is the village of Allur. This is an area with few Christians or churches. A year ago, a large gathering of pastors and evangelists who've been working in this area asked if we could provide training here. Several months ago, classes began. They have studied Bible study methods, Old Testament and New Testament survey, and biblical preaching. Each course takes 1 to 2 months to complete. Ray of Hope India is based in the small city of Bidar. This is where our first pastor's course began in 2016. 10 committed students come 3 days a week for classes led by Robert Dayanand.
I'm Pastor Robert Dayanand, Ray of Hope, India. BTCP curriculum has been a great blessing in our community here. And many pastors, those who are serving in the rural places, they don't have any training. And now this has opened a new door for them to come and learn and equip from the Word of God. And this curriculum is very much useful. People are excited to learn and know the things so that they can preach well in their churches and equip the churches. I'm sure that God is going to bless this one.
There is also an evening class for church leaders and pastors who are otherwise occupied during the day. This class carries on at a slower pace. It'll take a little longer to complete, but it extends the benefit of this level of training to the lay ministry leader level in local churches. Here we are in an ancient fort in the city of Bidar. This is built in the 14 and 1500s. And here in an ancient Muslim prison, here in this fort, it's a good reminder of the bondage to sin and to death that all the world is under. And yet, Jesus has come. And Jesus has come to open the prison doors and to set the captives free. He has given us new life by faith in Jesus Christ. He has set us free to live, and He has set us free to join Him in this work of bringing life and liberty and immortality to light through the gospel of Christ. So we're standing here in the beautiful gardens of the Tarkash Mahal. Now Mahal means palace. Think of the Taj Mahal. So the Tarkash Mahal was a palace that the king had constructed for his Turkish queen. And you can see here's the beautiful palace. There were fountains that came right down that ramp, and the fountain would flow into the garden, and out of the palace the whole garden was then watered. Right over on this side is a gate into the prison yard where we just came from. I can imagine perhaps that here out in front was a platform where one would come and judgment would be passed, and at times one could go very quickly from the palace into the prison. That reminds me of something that has occurred with us. How so quickly, how so suddenly, that in Jesus we were lifted up out of the prison, and He brought us into His own palace. We have been transferred out of the domain of darkness into the kingdom of the Son of His love. This is what the gospel is still doing here in India today. And so our work of helping churches and strengthening churches, and especially training pastors in the village churches, training leaders even in the churches right here in the city, that this is a work that we have to step into while we have this window of opportunity. And I hope as the Lord leads, you might join with us in this ministry of the gospel to India.
we've yet to come.